Nutcracker Podcast.
Hello again, beautiful people from the Global Nutcracking Podcast. I'm here with Nida Khan, which is the CEO of Nash FintechX, a company out of Luxembourg, to discuss about scaling globally, the difficulties that she has had, and also how she overcome them, which is also what most of the founders needs to know. Hi, Nida, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Can you please talk us and the listeners a little bit about your company and what do you guys do?
So basically, we are into software development. We specialize in blockchain, and our focus is on carbon markets. So we have come forward with a software that can help corporates to issue, sell, and track carbon credits. It's based entirely on the blockchain platform. We use smart contracts. We have developed it on Algorand, and the software is called DecarbonX.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what's your team size at the moment, and where are your people located?
So as of now, we are approximately 7 people. We are headquartered in Luxembourg, and our core team members are in Luxembourg.
Our core team members are in Luxembourg, and then the rest of the team is a little
The
bit spread.
software engineers are globally distributed.
Are
yes.
globally distributed. Fantastic. Now, since you have a global team, can you walk me through a little bit what has been the biggest pain point for you in terms of like how do you scale this team?
So essentially, in the beginning, we had issues in communication because of the difference in time zones. We have software engineers from Bangladesh. We have someone from Abuja, Nigeria. So it was a bit difficult for us to really consolidate the different time zones, the different working styles. But what we did basically, we started using of course, every tech company uses GitHub. We switched over to enterprise. Then we use Slack. We use Asana app. And we basically set milestones and designated and assigned tasks. So each knew at any moment of time where they were and what was expected of them. And with respect to scaling, I think it's been pretty easy because being a globally distributed team and having people from regions that are most severely affected by the climate crisis, they believed in the problems that we are trying to tackle. And so I would say that it has been comparatively easier.
Fantastic. So when it comes, so you mentioned two things. You mentioned communication at once, which is more operational. And do I know, were there any technical compliance things or payment difficulties that you navigated through the process?
Yes, definitely, because the funds that we had were through a grant, and they wanted us to maintain a separate bank account, and which they could access in case this need arises for them to see the transactions that have happened. So by default, all the salaries that I had to send were through the bank account, whereas the people in the different countries, they complained that their colleagues were working and they could get better exchange rates through other payment mechanism as opposed to a bank transfer. So what we had to do, like we used to send a bit more money to ensure that they basically get the same that the payment providers, like for example, Wise was offering. It took a bit of, I would say, a few more days as compared to the other payment mechanisms, but we managed through bank transfers. One of our software engineers requested payment in crypto, and the bank in Luxembourg did not offer crypto, and it still does not. And he was like, this is the best payment mechanism for my country. But what we basically did was, to cajole him into opening a bank account, and we ensured that he got the money through the bank account.
Yeah, definitely. That is actually a pain point for a lot of companies because right now people are getting creative in the way that they want to get paid, and traditional banking does not really, does not really support this. They're moving, but of course, banking is a very heavily regulated industry, so they have to move at a slower pace, and it's understandable. But the world on the other side moves at a different pace. So for you as a business, it becomes difficult to navigate the way that you are going to pay people and make sure that those people are let's say, pleased with the way that they're getting. Has anyone ever asked you to be legally employed in another country, maybe like as an employee? They want the old school type of employment. They don't want to be contractors. Has it ever happened to you?
I would say yes, and it has been very difficult for us. So we had to eventually rule out the possibility of bringing in people who were not so progressive in their thought approach. So we had to stick to people, who were more vibrant in the working methodology. Because as of now, the system is purely bureaucratic and it does not allow new kinds of, methodologies or ways of working.
Okay, fantastic. And as a founder, where are you planning to expand let's say in the next year or next 2 years?
I would say that the US would be a very good place for us because most of the carbon credit buyers and sellers, for example, the major corporates are involved there. So it's very high on the demand side of the carbon credit market, and it would also position us as a global infrastructure player in the carbon market CRM space, which is something that we really want to look forward to because it is one of our goals to achieve that.
Fantastic. And this is scaling in terms of business commercially, but then how do you see your workforce changing with this change in business? How will your workforce change? Do you want to deploy a US team of business developers? Do you deploy a marketing team in the US? Will you have them somewhere else? What are the possibilities here?
So personally, I feel that the core team would still be in Luxembourg, the senior management, but definitely the marketing team would be based in the US, and software engineers, I would still stick to a remote, like a globally
Remotely.
distributed team. But the deployment of the software in the concerned location, I would want a team of cybersecurity professionals to be housed there in that particular location.
Fantastic. This makes sense. And whenever you're expanding, there are multiple things that you should consider. And EOR is one of them. Entity management is one of them, depending on your team size. Sometimes the entity management can be more convenient. And also EOR allows companies to grow without a lot of risk. The reason why is you're expanding, you're not opening an entity, you're not investing time or anything else, you're just hiring a person. And then if it doesn't work, you can retract. So it's enabling startups to be very versatile along the way. Now, we'll get into our rapid fire session. 3 questions, super concise, so we can get straight to the bottom of it. In 3 words, the key to scaling successfully. 3 words.
I would say vision, people, the velocity.
Fantastic. Love it. Weirdest compliance rule you've ever seen?
One of the biggest carbon credit sellers in Asia, they wanted to partner with us and they wanted us to hand over our internal financial data to them before signing the partnership contract with us, which was very, very weird for us.
That would be very intrusive, I think, right? Out of them. Fantastic. If time and money wasn't an issue, which country would you expand to next?
United States.
You already said it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nida, it is a pleasure having you here at the Global Nutcracker Podcast. I know that your company will succeed through 2026, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Go global, not nuts.